The Spinosaurus existed way before its canon appearance in Jurassic Park 3, and out of every single dinosaur in the entire Jurassic Park franchise, none are more mysterious than that of the Spino, with extremely limited information given to us about its location, even to this day. But with all that being said, the Spinosaurus could be making a return to the screen far sooner than we think, but we're missing some crucial information, and I'm gonna have to go right back to the very beginning for us to get to the bottom of this, with today's video being sponsored by Squarespace. So hold on to your butts and get ready, because this video is gonna be wild. Now, before its official involvement in the timeline in Jurassic Park 3, the Spinosaurus actually featured in the Lost World Jurassic Park. Well, as a toy line anyway. It was actually featured as a toy with the codename Slice. And this actually came out just after the Lost World Jurassic Park movie in 1997, 4 years prior to its official canonical appearance in Jurassic Park 3 in 2001. It was actually depicted as a green and grey colour rather than the traditional red we always see. Now, moving along in the timeline, Spinosaurus would feature again in 1999 with one of my favourite games, Warpath Jurassic Park. And it's basically a fighting game where you pit the dinosaurs off against each other, very much like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, but yeah, with dinosaurs. And the Spinosaurus would feature, but looking again rather different to the Jurassic Park 3 counterpart, it was featured like a bluey black. And this is where things start to get interesting, because it's given a cutscene where it breaks out of a laboratory and then into the arena, which is, as you can see in the backdrop, is an InGen facility, very much like where it was cloned illegally in the 2001 film. And again, something extremely interesting here, the Spinosaurus is smaller than that of the T-Rex, and even more interestingly, the Suchomimus is the biggest dinosaur in the game, appearing much larger than the Spinosaurus and the T-Rex. Now that gives me food for thought on the upcoming Jurassic World movie, and that's something I'll touch on later. And in 2001, the official Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus was revealed. Very different to the ones we'd seen previously. It was much larger, super aggressive, and featured a reddish tinge, and as we know, was a result of illegal cloning by InGen in 1999. But at first, it was actually mistaken for a Suchomimus or Baryonyx by Billy, which was extremely odd.
Suchomimus. Snow.
No, think bigger.
Baryonyx.
Not with that sail. Spinosaurus aegypticus.
I don't remember that on InGen's list.
It's because it wasn't on their list, and that makes you wonder what else they were up to.
And then later on in the film, we actually see the cast visit the abandoned genetics facility where they were conducting all kinds of experiments on these animals in the tubes, kind of revealing to us where the Spinosaurus would have come from. Now, their relevance or what they even are were never fully explored in the movie, very much like the Spinosaurus itself, and was left open to the audience interpretation. But in a concept art for Jurassic Park 3, it was actually revealed that the Spinosaurus had its own incubator. Now, this obviously was intended to be explored in the movie, but was eventually cut, presumably not to fully explore its origins, leaving that open to interpretation. And this is where things start to get confusing, because many people believe that Spinosaurus on Isla Sorna simply died out because they seen the skeleton in Jurassic World. Now, I'd like to point out that obviously isn't the skeleton of the original Spinosaurus on Isla Sorna, because we know that Spinosaurus gets taken to the Manticorp Island in Camp Cretaceous Season 4. It was poached off Isla Sorna sometime prior to 2015, illegally may I add, to be used in fighting rings illegally, very much like we see in Dominion. And this is where things start to get confusing, because two of the showrunners, Scott Creamer for one, and the executive producer, Colin Trevorrow, both have conflicting statements on that Spinosaurus. One of them says it is the Spinosaurus from Isla Sorna, which is what the actual Camp Cretaceous says, but Colin Trevorrow, who has the entire direction of the franchise and canonicity, if that's even a word, says he believes it isn't, which just doesn't make sense. Now, I know, you're probably thinking, what has this got to do with the upcoming movie? Well, I'll get to that in a second. With the conflicting statements, this basically led to confusion in the fan base, whether it was or wasn't the exact Spinosaurus. Coupled with the fact that they seem to have changed its roar and its sound effects completely, led to even more confusion. Now, we know at the end of Camp Cretaceous, the Manticorp Island was discovered and the dinosaurs there were taken by the DPW. So, as for the Spinosaurus' fate after 2016, it's relatively unknown. We do know Bumpy makes a return because she's seen in the brand new show Jurassic World Chaos Theory, indicating that the dinosaurs did make it off the island. But Colin Trevorrow said that the Spinosaurus, and this is quote, doesn't make it out of Camp Cretaceous, implying that it was probably killed by Big E.T. or Little E.T., hence why the Spinosaurus was absent from Jurassic World. But during an interview in 2021, Scott said the Spinosaurus was still alive in 2018. And this is where new evidence comes into play and is returned to the franchise. But just before I talk about that, I'd like to take a quick moment to talk about today's sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform which makes it extremely easy to build and manage a website. It has everything you need if you're planning on opening your own dinosaur merch website, launching paleontology courses, or even blog about that time you went hunting for dinosaur fossils. It has everything you need and award-winning templates to help you set everything up, so you can design a website quicker than hatching a dinosaur egg. I can't recommend enough that you start your free trial on the platform today, and then when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/shadows and use code SHADOWS to get 10% off your purchase of a website or domain. Now, as I was talking about the Spinosaurus, apparently in 2018 it was subject to cruelty, but it was unknown if there were any surviving population, especially with Colin Trevorrow actually saying that the Spinosaurus, quote, doesn't make it out of Camp Cretaceous, implying it was killed, right? And this is where things get interesting, because Best in Slot, who's a YouTuber I follow and have had some interactions with in the past, actually posted a video on behind the scenes filming of the new Jurassic World movie, which is rumoured to be titled Rebirth. And this is where the Spinosaurus comes into play, my friends, because we see several sea/water based scenes, and in one of these scenes it features a huge military vessel, and during filming you can actually hear the director say, "Here he comes," and the boat rocks with a huge plume of water going up into the air there. Now, whatever is in the water is clearly very big to rock that boat and cause that huge plume of water. Now, whether that's the Spinosaurus or the Mosasaurus or another aquatic animal, such as the Suchomimus, which we've seen in Chaos Theory and referenced in the past, is unknown. Adding to this, he is the only main antagonist who doesn't get killed off in their debut film, crowning him the longest lasting main antagonist. And let's not forget, the Spinosaurus was planned to be in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. We have the storyboard of its existence right there. They also had plans for the Spinosaurus to return in Jurassic World Dominion and would have helped Rexy fight the Giganotosaurus, but was removed and replaced. Which brings me on to my next point. The reason why the Spinosaurus will return in the future. The legacy of the Spinosaurus speaks for itself. I mean, it'd be like trying to kill off Rexy at this stage. The fans would be in uproar, especially the fact that if they've killed off the Spinosaurus off screen, I don't think many people would take kindly to that. And the fact that we did see a return in Camp Cretaceous is one thing, but to see it in a live action movie sense is another. I believe fans have been wanting this for a long time, hence why various videos are being made on it. And the fact of the matter is, we haven't got a conclusive ending to the story. There's no conclusion to the Spinosaurus story. We can't just say, doesn't make it out of Camp Cretaceous. That's extremely disappointing. No, the Spinosaurus' story is not done. It is not complete. That is probably one of the real reasons why it will return. There's various evidence to support it will also return. It's still out there somewhere, but will it appear in the new movie? And if it does, what capacity will it return in? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. The Spinosaurus' legacy is legendary. I just hope they do it justice. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, it really does help me out, and subscribe to see plenty more Jurassic World content on the channel. I'd like to thank my YouTube members, and a special mention to DVM Wannabe 1018. Without you guys, I couldn't be making these videos, so thank you very much. Your support means the world to me. And if you ran into the Spinosaurus out there in the wild, could your day get any worse? You bet your ass it can. Catch you later.